Hey guys, welcome to What's Up Weekly. I'm your host, Joel Wiesner. Each week we meet at Silver Springs and show you footage from events we attended and highlight things to do in the upcoming weeks. This past weekend, we were out at the Splish Splash Bash Heritage Festival held at Lake Lillian in Bellevue. This weekend-long event was packed full of awesome and fun activities for the whole family to enjoy. They had a treasure hunt, live entertainment, hula hooping, a dance-off, an extreme auto show, and a splash zone offered by the Bellevue Fire Department. All of the funds raised at the event went directly to help Bellevue's new splash park. This weekend, we also went to downtown Leesburg, where attendees were enjoying the famous Zellwood corn at the Leesburg Corn Fest. Not only did the Corn Fest feature the famous Zellwood corn, but guests also enjoyed live entertainment, festival food, games, and a pet costume contest. Local pets showed up in style, decked out in corn-themed costumes. If you're looking for things to do this weekend, look no further than our events calendar at whatsupocala.com. You can also download our mobile app, What's Up app, from the iPhone or Android market. This past week, we attended the Blue Jays Band CD release party, where we rocked out to the Blue Jays Band best hits and met other fans. Guests showed their support for this local band by buying t-shirts and other merchandise. The Blue Jays Band raised over $1,600, so this event would be free for all guests to attend, and it was quite the hit. If you didn't make it out to the release party, then come cheer them on as they open for Sister Hazel in the Feel Downtown live concert series on June 14th. We hope that if you didn't make it out to the CD release party, that you'll make it to downtown Ocala this weekend and show your support for this up-and-coming local band. Also this past week, Silver Springs was proud to announce the opening of Wild Waters on June 12th. So grab your friends and come get wet at Wild Waters this weekend. Silver Springs would like to invite all fathers to join them on June 15th for a fun-filled day. Grab your dad and race to the finish line in Silver Springs' new recliner race. We hope you bring your dad out this weekend for lunch, games, music, and prizes. Attention all runners, this weekend is the 4th annual Stop, Drop, and Run 5K at the YMCA. You're invited to come out and challenge yourself. The Marion County Firefighter Benevolence Fund will be hosting this 5K. Special thanks to the Frank DeLuca YMCA. The event will actually be hosted at the Turkey Trot course. So come out this Saturday, June 14th, and enjoy an event that is good for you and your local community. Marion County and local residents are invited to the first annual Hispanic West Indian American Food and Music Festival this Saturday, June 14th, from noon to 5. A fun selection of vendors will be at the event, offering free giveaways, entertainment, authentic food, and much more. Proceeds will benefit the new multi-service building, which is a new resource center intended to provide tutoring and life courses for both children and adults in Marion County, as well as assistance in obtaining employment, mentorships, counseling, a food pantry, and so much more. This Sunday, you're invited to the Central Florida Truck Show held at the Ocala Drive-In. Come join Extreme Auto Shows from 12 to 6 p.m. for a day packed with gorgeous trucks, music, vendors, and much more. Just in time for Father's Day, this event will be one you and your dad won't want to miss. No matter what type of event you were looking for, we hope you got out this weekend and celebrated in style. For future events, be sure to check out our events calendar at whatsupocala.com. After this break, we'll hear from Nick Robinson. We'll be right back.
Hi, I'm Nick Robinson, host of the Business and Political News section of the show. This week, what we're actually going to be talking about is a new renovation project in Ocala's downtown business district. The Concord Square, which encompasses one square block just north of our downtown square on the other side of State Road 40, is going through an exterior renovation project. And it's basically an exterior facelift on the back half of the square and the sides of the square. So this is all sort of being led up to the eventual and hopeful Gaslight District that the city has been talking about that's actually in their 2035 comp plan. The owners also wanted to go ahead and start the renovation project now because of the fact that the real estate market is starting to increase, and we've heard from people in the real estate world that a lot of businesses that are looking to lease up office space are wanting to be more centralized in the downtown core, so the owners decided that they needed to do something to try to spearhead getting some tenants in there. So that's why they're doing the construction project.
Nice. Nick, I think there's a facade grant that helped them maybe through the city? Or
yeah,
what was that
actually, what happened was, and in full disclosure, I'm representing the landlord in the renovation project and the leasing itself. And what we actually did was we went to the city and tried to apply for some facade grant improvements. We found out there was a grant program that they have where they give, I think, up to $15,000 per building. Yeah. And so we were able to apply for that for 2 of those buildings. So the city is chipping in some money for that, and it's a fairly expensive project, but every little bit helps, and we're so glad that we were able to apply for it, and that the committee that chose that actually chose us as part of that program.
Yeah, it kind of fits in with the new Wayfair signs that downtown's getting, the new downtown circle, actually, the square there.
You know, and it's so neat because the Concord Square is this iconic whole square city block, sitting right in front of our actual sort of what we call our downtown square where the pavilion's at. Yeah. And really the owners thought that the time was right to start to do it. They saw that the real estate market is starting to come back. Being in the real estate business myself, I deal with a lot of tenants and a lot of office tenants in particular. And what they're telling us, and they're telling a lot of other brokers the same thing, is that you know, we're interested in space, but the landlord's got to do a little something to help them out too. And that's so common with what we see. Tenant improvements, landlords being able to chip in and improve the look of their buildings. It just attracts good quality tenants in there.
Now the space that's coming up for lease, is it for just offices or for retail business as well?
Actually, there's some ground level units that could be converted into retail. They're currently set up as offices, but the landlord is totally willing to do whatever is needed. If a good tenant comes along and it's a retail tenant, even a restaurant, we have the ability and the funds to retrofit these buildings. Cool. And that's what he wants to do. He has 35,000 total square foot out of the 90,000 square feet that's in the block. Oh, wow. That is vacant, and so he's getting very aggressive, and the company's getting very aggressive to try to lease that out. We've got some positive responses, and the landlord hopes also that this becomes sort of a catalyst project for some other business owners and developers to take a look at the north side of Magnolia Business District and really start to put a little bit of emphasis on that, because that really is where we have a lot of available space, both office and retail space. Right. You know, the south side of 40, that 4 or 5 square block area is really starting to become you know, leased out for the most part. There are some vacant buildings, but they need a lot of work, and so the north side is open, and the landlord wants everybody to know that he's open for business and certainly open to entertain any types of leases.
So how long do you think those renovations are going to take?
It's going to take actually only approximately about 7 weeks. So we hope to be done by mid-July. Okay. Mark Bowden with Bowden Construction Services was hired as the general contractor to oversee the construction project. We also have been dealing with a few different architecture firms to show some renderings and things like that. But it's not a total tear-down project. It's more of a facelift, is what we call it in the construction business. And that's basically we're just taking the exterior and giving it a fresh look. No more pink stucco on the back of the old Orleans building. The front of Brick City Cafe, right where the entrance into the actual courtyard behind it is, that's going to get a whole new renovation. You know, gone will be the old shingle roofs and the vinyl siding. It'll have a fresh coat of stucco. It'll be very modern looking, but also it's going to be designed to look like it's been there a while, but just with modern touches. And a lot of that is, again, trying to be informed with the 2035 comprehensive land use plan that the city has for the North Magnolia District with the Gaslight District. And we're going to go ahead and do brick stamping and French overhangs, French balconies, and some sort of louvered canopies over all the windows to give new tenants also some shade, because that sun hitting on those windows really gets a little bit warm in there.
Yeah. Did you get to work with the city at all, or was that the owner of the property that applied for the facade grant and all that?
It was a combination. The landlord hired Coldwell Banker Commercial here and met with me and a couple of other people. And we just kind of came up with a game plan of how we were going to get these vacancies leased, and that was part of the game plan. And then when we realized that there was a little bit of money potentially for the facade grant program, then you know, we went ahead and we went for it. We applied,
the move and did it, yeah.
And then the committee ended up choosing us, along with a couple of others. It wasn't just us, but there was some money set aside, and but we were able to utilize some of it, and we're putting it to good use.
Cool, that's exciting. Everybody, when we get back from this break, we'll hear from Arden Tillman, and the community party is tonight at Wild Waters for everybody who signed the petition. So we're going to check in with Arden real quick. When we get back, we'll hear from Katrina Ganser, the Director of Business Development at United Way. We'll be right back.
We're still working on renovating and repairing parts of the park and some of those bigger rides and slides. And once that's all buttoned down, we're going to start looking for the evening events, the corporate parties. Someone was telling me about the Wild Water Olympics that used to happen here, so we're going to be bringing it all back. Today is our community celebration. It's our it's the first opening of Wild Waters. It's for the community. It's a big celebration. Everyone really pitched in to make sure that Wild Waters stayed here, that it still existed. It's looking in great condition, and today is the day just for the community to come out and celebrate that before the grand opening tomorrow morning. We invited a ton of people out today, prominent community members and some of the partners that help support what happens in the community, the VCB, the CEP. We have a couple commissioners here today, but we also invited all of the folks who contributed to Wild Waters still being here, and that's everybody who signed that petition. Which we all know really got things kicked off as far as the future of Wild Waters. So everyone's having a great time. But right now we're still running all the information for Wild Waters off of the Silver Springs website. That's www.silversprings.com. And once we've got that the Wild Waters Park URL back in motion, we'll be putting the information there. What is this behind us? What is that?
Water park.
It's the water park, the wave pool. Did you swim in the waves?
Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you for coming.
You're welcome.
All right.
I'm Carl Zalek with the Board of Marion County Commissioners. My kids are here playing, and it's exciting to have it back open. They saw the wheel start spinning on the corner of the kiddie pool, and all I've heard for the last week is, how do we get back into Wild Waters, Dad? You've got to take us there. It's open. We're ready to go. So the community is excited. The petition process was awesome. Our community got behind it. You know, the government in the state of Florida, the governor responded, put some money into Wild Waters, and now it's back open to the community just like it belongs.
What's up, Florida? Join us as we road trip around the Sunshine State to take a look at the events, attractions, and natural wonders that make this state what it is.
that looked like a lot of fun. I don't know about you guys, but I'm really excited about Wild Waters opening up. Thanks, Arden. So I'm Katrina Gansler, your United Way representative for charity and nonprofit. And today I'm going to talk to everybody about Pace Center for Girls. It's an incredible organization. They've been around for about 30 years in Florida, and it is a place for at-risk youth, girls in specific, to get help and to get out of the juvenile detention centers.
Oh, wow.
So it's a great, and what it is, it's a school. So they go there, there's a small class setting. They learn just like regular school, but they also give them counseling and help them with decision making and finding themselves and really building their confidence. So it is a very effective and innovative way to help girls get over whatever they're going through and help them recover.
Now, is it for like girls who have been in trouble at some point that have gone through the correctional program, if you will?
Yeah, it's through the Department of Juvenile Justice. Okay. They were noticing that the girls that would come in would typically be further in the system, or to protect them, they'd be sometimes in places where they shouldn't be, and it wasn't helping. And so there was sort of a lack in our state about juvenile, detention centers. So Pace Center for Girls decided to open up and try to see if they could be effective in helping girls that are at risk, instead of just sitting there and being in the system. Get to know them a little bit more and find out. There's a lot of bullying going on, and most of these girls that were in the detention, juvenile justice system, they were sexually abused, emotionally abused, physically abused. So of course they're lashing out when they're at school. So it's a really safe place for them.
And what are the ages of these girls?
12 to 18.
Wow.
So anywhere from 12 to 18. And they also follow up with the girls for about 6 months, at least, up to 3 years.
Wow. So
it's really effective. That's the best part about it.
Is it something that they go through and then graduate, so they feel like they've kind of accomplished something? They'll have a mentor along the way and all that?
They have a lot of mentors. The great thing about it, and I actually got the pleasure of going on a tour there, and talking to the teachers, everybody was so passionate and so loving with the girls. So it's, they get teachers that really care about them, and at the same time they have case management. They have tools to help them grow, to find out, help find jobs. So it's an all-around encompassing thing. Because if you think about it, if you're at risk and you are a troublemaker and they're trying to get you to learn at school, you're not going to focus too much. Right. If at home, you go home and your dad's abusing you, or your mom's abusing you or your brother or your sister.
Or something.
Yeah, exactly.
So I guess they teach a lot of compassion then. They teach them for children that are, for young girls that are been bullied, they tend to get hardened.
Exactly.
So it would teach them some compassion and some life skills.
Yeah, and for those, if you've done any research on bullying, it's usually the person is lashing out and trying to get attention because something's going on at home. So they get to the root of what's going on. We all come from different backgrounds, but we all have choices, and that's what, life is about. So what this is doing is giving the opportunity for girls to go out and kind of reprogram themselves a little, get to the root of what's going on, overcome it, and make the choice to not be in the detention center.
Now, is this something that they do after hours, before hours? Is this sort of a permanent, like a housing thing for them, or do they just basically use that in conjunction with the normal schooling that they have, or how does it work exactly with them?
So instead of going to school at the public school or wherever if they're at risk, they usually will get expelled. And at that point, instead of going to a detention
Into the juvenile
center,
detention center, right?
they go to the Pace Center for Girls, and obviously girls specifically.
Right.
They are open summertime as well, so that's good, for people that need some help during the summer.
Is it typically something that's court ordered, like a judge would order it after a girl's gone through like a court system, or?
Yes, most likely that is the case. I'm pretty sure that there are other cases where it's not, but typically it's a court ordered alternative to do that. So it's a great place, and there's so many. I've talked to some of the girls, and they're just really inspirational because one girl, she was telling me she was smoking cigarettes and she would be sneaking out of the house, and she just said, you know what, it's because we have each other. And that's the beautiful part too. It's, you know, sometimes they feel bullied or they feel like they don't fit in, so they get into trouble. So at Pace Center for Girls, they feel like, you know what, we're all in this together. And they kind of relate to one another.
Kind of that support structure that they need and whatnot.
Exactly. That's all you really need.
And one more thing about is this something where they go in at a certain age and then they have to graduate out of it, or is it, you know, can it be temporary for some girls and more permanent for other girls? I mean, you said they do from ages 12 to 18. But is it a situation where they're evaluated after certain semesters?
Yes.
And then it's determined at that point that, that they can go back into the normal school systems or go back on with their lives? Is that how it works?
Exactly.
Okay.
That's how it works. So, you know, you don't stay there from 12 to 18 or anything.
Gotcha.
Otherwise, it probably wouldn't be effective. So,
Right.
but yeah, they go in there, and statistically, 91% of the girls that go into Pace don't commit any crimes 1 year after going there.
Oh, cool.
So, I mean, it really works. And
That's great.
yeah, it is, and it's helping us too, because, you know, we're all in it together. I always say that, but you know, if you get robbed or, you know, something happens in the community and it's that girl, instead of going out causing trouble, she's changing her life and she's bettering herself. So it's a great organization. That Wine and Tapas event that was going on a few weeks ago, Pace actually benefited from it.
Oh, cool.
That's right. I remember that.
Yes. So, and they always have fundraisers going on. And if you if you guys are interested, or anybody out there listening, they do Portraits of Pace, and it's a tour where you could actually see the classrooms and talk to the girls and hear more about what they do.
That's awesome.
Right, you can go see Peggy out there, right?
Yes, Peggy's there. Kimberly, she actually helped me with the article, getting me some information, but she actually won an award, the whole entire state of Florida, as far as her case management for at-risk youth. So we just got some incredible things in our backyard, and it's really coming together.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, real quick, when we get back, we'll hear from Julie Annette, the president and founder of Horse and Pet Inc. We'll be right back.
Tonight, we welcome a new generation of Porsche dreamers who will discover we passionately believe that every car should be a sports car. Now let me introduce you to the new 2015 Porsche Macan. When you see that coming behind you, you recognize it's a Porsche. Underneath the hood, you have 400 horsepower. 0 to 60 in 4.6 seconds. Track speed of 164 miles an hour. The new 2015 Porsche Macan.
Hi, I'm Julie Annette, your host of Horse and Pet News. Last week, we introduced you to our Pet of the Week. This week, we got invited to go on a tour of the Marion County Humane Society. Let's watch this quick video. Hi, Kate. How are you?
How are you?
It's great to see you again,
good to see you
we're
again.
looking forward to this tour.
Come on in. When you first come into the Humane Society, there's 3 rooms that are going to be on your left-hand side. We've got the kittens, the juveniles, and the adult cats, and they are in open-air cat rooms if you want to come in. We don't keep any of our cats in cages. They get to be in these big rooms. They get to be socialized with other cats. And as you can see, they've got a cat door. So they actually have indoor-outdoor play area. And this is our cat porch area. The cats can lounge all day. Okay, now we're going to head over into the dog room, or the dog area, I'm sorry. And this is our kennel. This is our meet and greet room. This is where we'll take a dog out from the kennel and it can interact and meet with the forever. We ask the family to bring in their animals and meet. You know, if they have another dog, they need to do a meet and greet, make sure the dogs get along. We are all about enrichment here at the Humane Society. They spend, as you can see in this row closest, there weren't any dogs in there. It's because they spend a lot of time outside in groups playing with other dogs. We don't like them to sit in their kennels all day. This is our largest yard out here. I can take you out there if you want. Right now we've got a couple dogs out just running around. Right now the staff is moving the dogs from the inside kennels to the outside kennels, and they'll be here for a couple hours. Since it's a hotter day, they won't stay out too long, but in the fall and the spring, they really they spend most of the day outside. So.
Welcome again, Kate. I see that you brought us somebody else this week, and who is this?
This special guy is Corey. He's about a year old. He was found as a stray. He's a very high energy border collie mix. And I don't know if you know much about border collies, but they are very, very, very energetic, but they're also one of the most intelligent breeds. They're very easy to train. They love to go outside. They love to play with the ball. They're very obedient, and they just make really wonderful pets. For sure.
And Corey's adoption fee is $85, correct?
Yep.
And is he already neutered?
Already neutered, has all his vaccines, microchip, he's ready to go.
Ready to go. Okay, everybody, if you can give Corey a good home, a loving forever home, please give the Humane Society of Marion County a call. The number's right on your screen. Thank you. Welcome back. I hope you enjoyed that video.
One thing I didn't see in the video was the hours for the thrift store that actually helps fund the whole program. Did you figure out the hours?
Yes, actually the store hours are from 9 to 5,
Cool.
Monday through Friday, and then the donations are from 9 to 4, so if you have anything you'd like to donate, like jewelry, appliances, anything like that, please bring them in.
Cool. Well, we appreciate that. From everybody here with What's Up Weekly, we're excited that you saw us. We're at the beautiful Silver Springs State Park. Come kayak or go on a glass bottom boat ride or enjoy food. And be sure to come out to the Wild Waters grand opening on June 12th. From all of us here with What's Up Weekly, we'll see you next week.
Goodbye.
Bye.